Coming into tonight's matchup, these two teams are pretty evenly matched statistically, but the biggest difference is the Razorbacks' point per game is significantly higher than the 49ers. But the Razorbacks have met their match tonight because this team wants to play the same exact way as them. So look for this game to be high-paced on both sides of the court. 17 turnovers you've caused, 25 points just off of those turnovers. How important is that little extra cushion of points going into the second half?
We're active. We got 20.
Arkansas picked earlier in the year to finish 6th in the SEC, and today the SEC coaches poll for first and second teams was released. Two players for Arkansas making to the second team, Daryl Macon and Jalen Barford. Now, Daryl Macon says that he uses this as motivation for the rest of the season. Being picked as second team, he says that he wants to do better than what people expect of him and his teammates. Coach, UTA scoring majority of their points in the paint and free throw line. How did you adjust from first quarter to second quarter to combat that?
Well, I'm not sure we can do anything about them being 6'5".
Arkansas not allowing Fresno State to set up their half-court offense with their full-court press, and the result of that has been bad shooting for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs came into this game shooting over 50% from the three-point line, and tonight they're shooting under 25%. Extremely uncharacteristic for Fresno State, but the Hogs continuing to push the tempo here in the second half. Your defense just making Fresno State extremely uncomfortable. How do you keep that up here in the second half?
Well, we got to continue.
Thank you, Brett. This is ORU's head coach Paul Mills' first season at Oral Roberts and his first season as an NCAA Division I head coach. Previously to Oral Roberts, he spent 14 years at Baylor underneath Scott Drew. Talking with Coach Mills before the game, he says his team is a little over 10 games into the season and it's starting to get into the rhythm and style of play that he wants. And he adds the whole team, but especially the small group of seniors that he has, really bought into his ideas, and he thinks this team is really close to some success. Brett? Coach, slow start out of the gate tonight, but how important was your bench production here in the first half?
I think the biggest component of our team is our bench.
Arkansas is handing out these pink t-shirts tonight while wearing pink uniforms and in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But this isn't the only time Arkansas wears pink. On practices on Wednesdays, they also wear pink. Coach Jason Watson instituted this because of his love for the movie Mean Girls. Raven Northcross Baker taking advantage of her minutes she's getting, not just points, but keeping her teammates involved. How can she keep that up in the second half?
She's been doing that all year for us. It's just the shots haven't always gone in.
Welcome back to Fayetteville. Colorado State head coach Larry Eustace is in his 6th season as the head coach of the Wrens and reached 100 wins faster than any other CSU coach in career history. And he also holds a spot at number 55 for all-time winningest coaches in Division I. A coach also on that list that might seem familiar to Hog fans, Nolan Richardson. He has 509 all-time wins, sitting at number 61. But you've played 10 players so far this half, and your second group is just as competitive as your first group. How important is that for your style of play?
I think it's very important.
Well, both teams playing with a little extra fire tonight. South Carolina looking for their first win under interim head coach Dottie Hampton, and Arkansas looking to bounce back from a heartbreaking loss at LSU this weekend in a 5-set tiebreak. And Arkansas really wanted to start a hot streak of their own, and in the past in this series, they've had success at that. Brett? The Razorbacks taking a big lead here in the fourth quarter, and a new tradition that head coach Mike Neighbors has instilled in this program this year is following every home game, his players stay after to sign autographs for the fans. Junior Kieran Swinson says she likes the new tradition and says it gives the players an opportunity to interact a little more with their fans. But she also mentions how it makes her feel like a hot shot after a big win inside of Bud Walton Arena. Just one of the many traditions Coach Neighbors is establishing in this program for his first season as Razorback head coach. Started off slow here in the first half, but your seniors absolutely stepped up, put some fire into the offense. How important is it for your seniors to start that?
Well, it's important because they're the leaders, and
Welcome back to Fayetteville. Sanford and Arkansas have met twice before, but this is their first matchup inside of Bud Walton Arena, although Sanford head coach Scott Padgett is pretty familiar with this arena, having played here twice in his college career at Kentucky. Interesting enough, Scott Padgett faced up against Razorback assistant coach Scotty Thurman during his impressive years here as a Hog. Back to Bud Walton Arena, something UTA coach Krista Gerlich is especially proud of is her team's service off the court. The team visited an orphanage during their summer tour in Costa Rica, and at home in Texas, they are just as much involved. The women's basketball team has won the UTA Athletics Community Service Award in 2016 and 2017, and it's a common theme as a university. UT Arlington has won the Sun Belt Community Service Initiative in both 2016 and 2017. This is awarded to the school with the most SAC points throughout their academic year. Now, Kiko, you were the president of SAC while at school at Arkansas. How does UTA's involvement compare to Arkansas's? Welcome back to Fayetteville. After the Razorbacks game Sunday night versus Bucknell, Jalen Barford took to Twitter and challenged fans to pack the Bud. He said if the game sold out, he would buy Jolly Ranchers for every single fan that showed up. Well, tonight is a sold-out crowd here at Bud Moulton, and each fan was greeted with Barford's 24 pounds of Jolly Ranchers that he bought. And I don't think these fans need any incentive staying. Hawks up 22-12 here in the first half. Welcome back to Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas is commemorating Veterans Day here. During pregame, their warm-ups read "Land of the Free because of the Brave." Sam Houston State coach Nichols having a special connection to this. Her son Brady serves in the Texas Army National Guard. He was actually deployed to Egypt for a year and is now back at Sam Houston State, expecting to graduate in May, and is a manager for this Bearcat team. That's right, Josh. Coach Terry says that he thinks his team has to get back into their aggressive defense to be back in this game. That means creating stops on defense and taking it the other way with valuable possessions. Now, Coach Terry thinks offensively his team has missed a lot of open shots and needs to be strong with the ball. So continue to look for aggression on both ends of the court for Fresno State this half. Well, it has been the Daniel Gafford show here late in the second half, and Mike Anderson tells us this week they have made subtle adjustments to Gafford's defense to avoid fouling. The freshman has fouled out of the first 2 games of the season, and Mike Anderson says he wants Gafford to play more minutes per game, proving himself tonight, leading the Hogs with 22 points and 8 rebounds.